hour, 69 degrees in downtown Sylacauga, and a travel-weary District 5 Sylacauga City Council person, Laura Heath, joins us. Laura, good morning.
Good morning.
So, Milwaukee.
Yes, sir.
And Starkville, Mississippi.
Absolutely.
And now Sylacauga, Alabama, right?
I'm home.
So let's talk about, you were at the Republican National Convention. How'd that work?
Well, I was elected on May 4th by the Alabama GOP State Executive Committee to serve as an alternate delegate for place 16. Justice Linda Coates served as the delegate for place 16, and I was her alternate. I got to go on the floor of the RNC, and you know,
What was that like?
It was incredible. It is. There's no words to describe what type of experience that was. It was amazing, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity that I got to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's a lifetime experience. That was a lifetime experience.
It is.
Yeah.
It was so much fun, and you know, it was very unifying. It was encouraging, and it truly was a once in a lifetime experience, and I'm grateful that I got to experience it.
So, you know, former President Trump spoke.
He did.
And his vice presidential teammate spoke as well. What did you think of that?
J.D. Vance, he is a people's person. He, you know, he's an example of beauty from ashes. He came from nothing, and now look at him. You know, he resonates with the common person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it was amazing. It truly was. I can't, you know, again, there's not enough words to describe the experience that I had.
So, you were there when President Trump spoke.
I was.
Tell me about that. How did the crowd react?
He was very solemn. You know, it was very encouraging to see him. I mean, he had been shot. Mm-hmm. A week before.
Could have been dead very easily.
Could have been dead. Not even a whole week before, you know, days before he had been shot. And, you know, to see him get up there and to speak on that experience and to see him get up there and continue on was just encouraging. I mean, look at what he's faced. He's faced multiple false accusations. I mean, he has been dragged through the ringer, and he got up there and he still united the people in that room and the people watching. And it was just incredible. It really was.
So, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you ever been there before?
I have not been there before, and it was a wonderful, they were so hospitable. It was amazing how wonderful they treated us. Mm-hmm. It was great. You know, I was...
Now, who did you go with?
I went with a group from Talladega County.
Okay.
We had Sandra Epperson, the chairman of the Republican Party, and Rachel Wallace, who works for Mike Rogers' office. Mm-hmm. We all were alternate delegates. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's fantastic. So, a lot of security, I'm assuming?
Absolutely, there was. There was at one point, we had charter buses for Alabama delegates and alternates and elected officials that attended. And at one point, we got dropped off at the wrong entrance where all the protesters were. And
oh boy.
It was quite, I mean, we had senators, you know, congressmen, and we're all just standing there like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? And so we got swarmed with Secret Service at that time. We had Secret Service that rode the bus with us.
So you were mistakenly dropped off where the protesters were?
That we were.
Oh, wow.
And that was an experience. So we got into the secure perimeter pretty quick, and we had great security that, you know, kept us safe during that event.
So you go from there to Starkville, Mississippi.
Yes.
There's not a Republican convention going on there, but there was a lot of excitement, though.
No, but there was a 14-year-old little boy there playing baseball, representing the city of Sylacauga with his teammates, and they won the Iron Bracket. We went into 2 extra innings. We played baseball for a very long time yesterday, and they finally beat Texas yesterday afternoon, winning the Iron Bracket. They received rings, but the most important thing they received was the Jim Hill Sportsmanship Award.
What's that about?
It is an award for the team out of this huge tournament that you have. It's the Southwest Babe Ruth regional tournament. You've got teams from Texas, Louisiana, you know, everywhere, and Mississippi, Alabama, and they had the best sportsmanship out of all those teams that attended. And they represented Sylacauga with class, and I could not be more proud of them. I'm a little biased about one because he's my son.
So he struck out 12 batters in one game, right?
He did. He pitched an incredible game.
Were you very conservative?
I'm a mama first before any other titles. So, you know, at one point, everybody thought he hit a ball over the fence, and I was very excited because at the end of the day, I'm always a mama first.
Yeah. So, how did that take place, them ending up in Starkville?
They did not have a state tournament.
Okay.
So technically, you know, they went straight to regionals.
Okay.
In Starkville, and I mean, they held their own. We had lost several players along the way. We were down to 9 the last 2 days of tournaments, and
that's just fielding a team.
Hey, look, those boys fought till the very end.
You didn't take your glove with you, did you?
I didn't, but I would have. But I drove from Wisconsin as soon as, you know, everything was over Thursday. I was gone.
How long did it take to drive?
It was about an 11-hour drive.
Wow.
But I meant I was getting to Starkville as soon as I could, and it's been a long few days, but I enjoyed every minute of it.
So who was the manager, the coach for that team, do you know?
Calvin Cook, Mitch Braswell, and there was several dads that helped as well. Michael Wilson helped, and it was a great group of kids. I mean, again, they won that award, and that shows how well they represented our city.
And I'm sure it took a lot of money. There's a lot of fundraising, I guess, going on too.
Yes, the boys raised. The boys worked for their funds. They stood outside of Walmart. They went to businesses. Those boys truly worked for every penny that they raised.
Wow. So, tell me, going back to Milwaukee, what did you glean out of that?
A lot of things, and I don't quite know how to put it into words, but I'll give you a little synopsis.
Okay.
Be unified. Unify with who you serve with. Unify doesn't mean that you agree. There's a difference between unifying and agreeing with one another, you know, and it makes you wonder how someone could not ever pledge to the flag that represents our country. We had fallen soldiers' families get up there at the RNC.
Wow.
And those people died for this country. And that flag represents those people who gave their lives. And it was such a wonderful experience, but it really reminds you to unify. Unify with those you serve, because, you know, united we stand, divided we fall.
So you bring that thought back to Sylacauga and to y'all's position as Sylacauga City Council people, right?
Right. I do. We have to unify, because again, united we stand, divided we fall.
Before we go this morning, there's a lot of conversation about the I don't know if it's a sports complex you call it, but the recreation facility. Where do we stand on that right now? Any idea?
It's moving along.
Yeah?
It's moving along. We've entered phase 2 of the design process, and so...
Is it going to be where it was thought to have been, or...?
Those results have not been received yet, so, I mean, as far as I'm aware of, you know, unless... And there could be 1 or 2 council members that know something different, but it's supposed to be where it was originally planned to go.
You actually... were not at the last council meeting because you were...
I was on the floor of the RNC that night.
Okay. When did you find out you were going to be able to go?
When I was elected May 4th.
Okay. That's got to be quite an honor, you know?
It was a huge honor that people, you know, entrusted me to take that position. I mean, Justice Linda Coates out of Madison County is phenomenal, and to be her alternate it truly was an honor.
Yeah. So, how close did you get to former President Trump?
Pretty close. I got some very good pictures, and, you know, not very far at all.
Yeah. So Alabama was well represented through the Republican Party, correct?
Absolutely, they were. You know, we had Mike Rogers, Dale Strong, John Merrill, former Secretary of State, Wes Allen.
Was Tuberville there?
Yes, Senator Tuberville was
Yeah.
there. Katie Britt was there. We had a phenomenal group of people. And
So what do you think about, were you surprised that President Biden made the announcement yesterday? No?
I'd heard rumblings of it for a while.
Was that conversation at the Republican convention?
Not by the speakers, but by different groups
Mm-hmm.
of individuals that had some insight.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
discussed.
So we will, Kamala Harris is going to be maybe the candidate, I don't know. They've got their Democratic convention coming up
Right.
next month. And so, President Biden, he's 81 years old. I'm 73. I understand some of the physical
Right.
issues that an older person, and a lot of people think, well, those people were pushing and prodding him. That wasn't in his best interest.
That was a disservice to him. It was not fair. Regardless of political views,
Yeah.
you don't want to see anybody who is not fully cognitively functioning
Yeah.
be placed in a role like that and to be embarrassed the way he was with, his family. I felt like should have stepped in a while ago.
You faced some challenges as a city council person. You were the former president of
Right.
the council, and it didn't last very long.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
And, it's par for the course. It's politics. Municipal politics is a little bit more brutal than some of the state politics. It's everywhere in it's politics. I signed up for this. But municipal, what got me were state leaders that are keeping up with what's going on in our council.
Really?
That is what really got me. I had several people tell me they were praying for me. They've been keeping up with it. They've been watching our council meetings.
State leaders.
State leaders. We are on the map right now. So, it's better days are ahead.
Would you do it all over again?
Absolutely, 100%. I love serving the people. That's what it's about. It's about the people I serve. I'm tough. I'm tough as nails. I've had a few things happen in life, and I think I'll be fine.
Yeah. Most of all, you're proud of that son, right?
Oh, he makes me very proud, along with my little girls, Blakely and Maddie Lindley. They all of my children make me very proud.
Yeah. Appreciate you being with us this morning. Maybe you get some rest in the next couple of days.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you calling me and inviting me.
You're welcome. District 5 Sylacauga City Council person Laura Heath's our guest this morning.